Greetings grapplers, welcome to Judo for Jiu-Jitsu. My name is Larry Keith and with me today is Brian Powers. And in this video, we're going to go over a triangle choke setup from a overhook control position from bottom guard. So from bottom guard, Brian's in my guard here. And however I manage to get his hands to the floor, whether it be I pull him to the side or I come inside and scoop, whatever the case may be, different ways of breaking the grip. All right, I'm not going to go over that so much as I want to get my overhook and I want to grab his lapel on the far side. So I use my right hand to hand that over to my left hand. Now it's pretty hard for him to pull his arm out of that. If he does, he risks getting a straight arm lock here. If he dips his head down, I can come in for a strangle. Right, so there's lots of different things I can do to him. So a lot of times what your opponent will do is realizing that it was a mistake having their hands on the mat. He can't do much about this one, but he'll put the other one on my hip to start to try to posture up. As he does that, I control his wrist and push his hand towards his own belly. And from here, I can grab a figure four grip, and then I transfer his wrist to my left hand. So now I can control both of his arms with one hand. Can you pull out of that? Really, really difficult at this point. If this was MMA, I could be hitting him. Self-defense, I could be hitting him. But in this case, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that arm doesn't come out. I'm gonna open my guard and go over his shoulder and close it again. From here, we have a triangle frame, triangle bite. And then all I'm gonna do now is I bridge up, I push his arm across, I control his wrist, I reach up and I grab my own shin. Now I have this closed section right here. So whatever I closed up is staying closed. My left foot, I can put on his hip or on the floor to pivot. I'm not releasing his wrist. And then my leg comes over the top and I close up my triangle and squeeze. So from here again, I get Brian's hands to the floor. I control his posture and distance with this lapel. I get my overhook and I hand that lapel to my left hand. Really, really tight for him to get out of right now. As he puts his other hand on my hip, I control that, I push it to his chest, and I transfer my grip, right? I can either grab a figure four first, or I can just transfer right to his wrist. Now I open the guard, I go over his shoulder and I close, and I pull, controlling his posture. And then when I'm ready, I bridge up, and I pass his arm over, I catch his wrist, I settle back down, I grab my shin, and I pivot until I feel that I can't pivot anymore. It'll be kind of a lock, right? Once I lock there, I come over the top, knee pit over the top of my shin. So I think of bumping my arm and then chopping down. I give a nice squeeze for the finish. Once again, Brian's in my guard. However I decide to, I get his hands to the mat. Control this lapel. I hand from my right hand to my left hand, his lapel. Then from here, I can reach for the choke. If he reaches and puts his hand on my hip, I can grab his wrist and I pin his hand to his chest, his belly, right? And I transfer figure four, right? So this works gi or no gi as far as this goes. Now from here, I switch my grip to controlling just his wrist, or I can maintain this and still open up and come over the top. So regardless of if I hold the figure four or transfer, I come over the shoulder. I'm already at a good angle right here for my leg to come over his shoulder pretty easily. I bridge up, I pass his arm over, I pass his wrist to my right hand. My left hand reaches up and grabs my shin. I pivot and pivot until I can't pivot anymore. I'm also pushing his hand downward at the same time. Right here, I come over the top, I close and squeeze. So that was a sankaku-jime, which means a triangle strangle, from bottom guard position with an overhook and lapel control. If you find some value in this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and click on the notification tab so you don't miss any future videos. And remember that when you learn one technique, you know one technique. When you learn a concept, you know 1,000 techniques. So until the next time, we'll see you on the flip side.